first time I heard about ESF, I was on a plane going to a conference, and Charlie Hall was on that plane as well. So Charlie Hall is a former professor at ESF who I actually am in the position that when he retired, I was hired in this position. My advisor, Jay, was talking about the research that I was doing. And the research I was doing and still do was working with Indigenous communities in Mesoamerica, thinking about complex agroforestry as a way of restoring ecosystems and what we can learn from and with Indigenous communities. And so he shared with me his book. And in his book, his home department was ESF. And it was the first time I had heard of ESF. So through these years, I've taught a number of courses. But the courses I'm currently teaching, first of all, I'm doing the honors seminars because I'm directing the honors program right now. So that's one area. So I do during the falls, I teach honor seminars to all the first year students and all the second and third year students who invite into the honors program. So that's part of it. Martin Dovchik and I are teaching tropical ecology, so we're going to Panama. We're learning right now about the different unique properties of a tropical setting. Also, another field course I've taught is ecosystem restoration design. So learning about ecological restoration, but in Chiapas, and then we come back here and we do design work associated with that, and we learn about the different elements of ecosystem restoration. I also teach a global environment and society, and in that course, I think about that course as in some ways an introduction to ESF, because it's looking at all the different ecosystem types, different ways of looking at ecosystems and the environment and all the complexities of that, and then all the problems associated with our historic and current interaction with our environment, our relationships with the environment. I just have continued doing the work that I've done for a long time, working with Indigenous communities in Mesoamerica. Now I work with the Center for Native Peoples and the Environment and Indigenous communities here. I guess it's expanded to other communities, but it's also expanded to thinking about kind of lessons learned from working with Mayan agroforestry and with Mayan communities about how food can be part of restoration. So one of the projects that I've been working on and have been since 2019 is the Syracuse Urban Food Forest Project. And I'm thinking about how food can be part of our urban ecosystem. In Syracuse, we have been working through and working with our problem with combined sewer overflow. So the idea with combined sewer overflow is that you have stormwater and wastewater that meet in the sewer and they go to the wastewater treatment plant. Well, the wastewater treatment plant can't handle all that water during a storm event. So what the city has been doing is planting green infrastructure to absorb stormwater and infiltrate stormwater. So you don't have such an impact on the wastewater treatment system. And so one of the questions we asked with the Syracuse Urban Food Forest Project was, how can we think about those designs in ways that meet other needs, maybe food security and food sovereignty needs? And so that's what we're doing. We're planting fruits and nuts and all sorts of other trees. We put in thousands of plants at this point. One thing that's really great about ESF is that we have people in so many disciplines of environmental science. We have, some of the finest environmental scientists in some of the cases in the world. People are friendly and kind. That's something I don't take for granted. ESF students they care. Just a lot. And they care about the environment, but they care about each other. It's exciting to have people who are happy to get their hands dirty and happy to really dig into the subject. These people came just awesome and they leave just awesome and they go and do awesome things. Without ESF students, the world would be less fun and less good.